Hello guys, I'm Cryy, and today we'll be taking a look at the first closed beta phase for Revelation Online. I'll be showing you some of the different things you can do, features you probably didn't know about, and for new players, I'll be giving you guys tips as well. If you're wondering how you can get access to the first CBT, there's a few different ways. The best way to get guaranteed access to not just CBT1, but every closed beta phase would be to buy a Founders Pack from the official Revelation website, or visiting streams and different MMO websites that are doing beta key giveaways. Also keep in mind that this is a testing phase, so don't expect to play a flawless version of the game. And by the time we hit open beta, you can expect everything to be translated. In closed beta 1, content will be limited. Level 49 will be CBT1's level cap. This means we can't explore the level 50 and above content until the second closed beta phase. However, there's more than enough content for us here in CBT1. After spending a ton of time designing the perfect character, messing around with sliders and beauty marks, don't forget you guys can save your character presets should you want to use this character again for open beta. But after you're done with that, you'll find yourself here on the tutorial island. You'll also notice you can choose from 3 different combat and movement playstyles. One is more traditional, similar to most tab targeting MMOs. There's a point and click mode, and then you have action mode, allowing you to turn with the movement of your mouse. As you continue to follow the storyline, you'll come across quick time events, gain special skills, meet interesting characters, and you'll come across tons of players, maybe more than your PC would like to see. But that's okay, you can remove everyone by pressing the F10 key. Wow. At level 30, you'll unlock a new tab titled Order in your character menu. This Order tab shows you your daily and weekly Demon Slayer dungeons. These are very important. You want to rack up as many Demon Slayer points as you can, as this ties into crafting the best PvE armor for your character. The Darkfall dungeon becomes available around level 30, allowing you to finally group up with players and get a taste of the Holy Trinity: a tank, healer, and DPS. Revelation has them all. Even hybrids like the Blade Master, which can focus on damage or change to a more tanky playstyle, using skills to increase its health, parry, and block rate. The Occultist can also switch from damaging enemies to healing allies. With there being around 2 weeks of this beta phase, you have more than enough time to explore all the classes to see which one fits your playstyle. After hitting 30 and taking a look at your new Order tab, you'll see a daily and weekly dungeon. The other weekly will unlock at 45, as it's usually a harder mode of the first weekly dungeon. To get your daily dungeon, you can talk to an NPC located on this part of the map. Once you have your group ready, speak to her and you can teleport directly to your daily dungeon. After completing this dungeon, you'll get an item that you can open, which contains random items including experience essence and possibly a cosmetic item alongside the large amount of demon points. These credits or points can be used to buy materials and gear from certain vendors. The materials you can purchase with these points can be used for crafting and upgrading Demon Slayer gear, which will be much better than the gear you see dropping from these dungeons. Some of the items you can purchase with these points will only be available after you've reached a certain rank, which will take some time, as you can only gain a certain amount of Demon Slayer points a day. To get to your weekly dungeon, or any other dungeon for that matter, you can always press O and select the Instance tab. This will show you all the dungeons available for your level. You can auto path by clicking the green text, or teleport to them directly by clicking the arrow. Each time you hit a certain level milestone, you'll be rewarded with quite a few items. Like level 29 for example, you gain the ability to fly but also get free wings. If for some reason you have not received your awards, you can press O for the Instance Award tab and click Awards. You can also get a preview of what's to come for the next milestone. Aerial combat is also a thing in Revelation. These skills unlock and upgrade differently than your basic skills. If you look around the map, you'll see castle and fortress areas that have yet to be claimed. One of these fortresses is actually in the air, so aerial combat will be needed in a siege for a place like this. Now that you've seen a little PvP, let's talk about the PvP that will be available for you in the first closed beta phase. If you want to test your skills right away, you can always challenge someone to a duel, anywhere, anytime. I usually get together with my guild members and head over to the Instance Guild region, which I'll speak more about in a bit. But we like to duel here as it's more peaceful and there's not so many people around to crowd the scene. Though there's always the F10 key. But at level 40, you gain the ability to flag up for PvP. When you do this, you can hit any player as long as they're above level 40. If that player chooses not to fight back, you'll get a debuff that pretty much puts a bounty on your head and makes you kill on sight to any NPC guards. If you get attacked by a flagged player and choose to fight back, you won't be penalized. So yeah, you can be an outlaw, but it comes with a great risk. Once we get castle sieges, you can go all out, killing players as much as you please without a penalty. But you might want to think twice before randomly attacking players in the open world. There are Battlegrounds as well. 20 versus 20, where your goal is to capture different points on the map and hold them for as long as you can. The first group to reach 1,000 points wins. 10v10s are also available, but they're a bit different. Like 20v20, the goal is to get 1,000 points before the other team. This time, instead of capturing towers, you fight bosses and mini-bosses to gain points. There's also a 30v30, but that won't be available until level 60, and arenas won't be available until level 50. So for now, in CBT1 we have 10v10s and 20v20s. Now I mentioned an instance guild region. Once you have created or joined a guild and have at least 10 members, you can access your guild region by speaking to a guild NPC in one of the major cities. This area is huge and only your guild has access to it. There's a lot that can be built in this region, but in order to create and expand, everyone will need to take part in guild missions and contributing to the guild by donating coins and different guild materials you'll find along your journey. There are many benefits that come with being part of a guild. Eventually, you'll be able to take part in territory wars and have a chance to claim your own fortress or castle, giving your guild even more benefits and displaying your logo on the territory's banners, which are also shown on the map. You also gain different stat bonuses for your guild as you unlock different guild perks. You can even form an alliance with other guilds to increase your numbers, power, and chances at taking over a territory. Instance guild wars are a thing as well. You might find yourself stuck at some point, a quest that you can't complete because you don't meet the level requirement, but don't worry, there's other ways to level your character than questing. You can run dungeons, but remember they have daily limits, so try to run them as much as you can. You'll also get a lot of Ascension Stones from questing and dungeons. These stacks can be turned into bigger stones that grant you a massive amount of experience. There's also the hot springs. What's good about the hot springs is that you can gain experience here even while AFK. You can find a portal to the hot springs in the major cities, and once you're here you can sit back, drink some alcohol, and gain experience for a certain amount of time depending on your beverage. There are also underground dungeons. Now these are open to a ton of players. These instances are filled with mobs, and this is also a great place to use double experience potions if you have any. These mobs are a great source for gith notes, gear that might better your character but most likely will be dismantled, giving you even more gith notes, and orange crystals. Yes, the orange crystals needed to craft the best weapons and gear. Some mobs in these instances will drop these crystals. You can also obtain these crystals by dismantling purple gear, which has a chance to give you some. It can be purchased by Demon Slayer vendors as well, once you reach a certain Demon Slayer rank. The players in these underground dungeons are very territorial. It's best to be in groups as you can farm mobs and gain experience much faster. You'll notice a purple bar display under your health bar. This indicates how many mobs you can farm here before you stop gaining experience. This also resets daily, so make sure you always visit these instances and farm away. Notice that my health bar is more towards the middle of my screen. If you don't like the way your UI looks, you can press F11 to change the position of pretty much everything on your screen. Another great way to gain experience, as this kind of comes with running all the dungeons you can daily, is the 4 Emperors Challenge. This is a solo PvE arena-like instance that gives you a ton of experience. There are also rankings for things like this in the PvP battlefields. So if you do good enough and you're high enough on the leaderboards, you could get some cool rewards like fashion accessories. Another cool thing about this game is that you can control the build of your character. As you level, you'll eventually gain points that you can put into different stats. As a Blade Master, focusing on more damage than being a tank, I like to spend my points in strength for more damage and dexterity for more crit. But what if I want to re-roll and try a more tanky build? Well, you'll get an item called Cleansing Newbie as you quest, or you can purchase this from an NPC. This allows you to respec your stat points up until level 49, so keep that in mind. If I wanted, I could put all my points into intelligence, though that wouldn't really make sense for a Blade Master, but it's possible. When going from level 39 to 40, you'll also be able to control when you level. You can continue to gain experience but stay at a lower level until you decide to move forward by clicking the level up button in your character tab. This is important because dungeons scale with your level. It's best to level up once you have better gear to equip, so a level 60 in a party with level 40s will cause the dungeon to scale up. However, if that level 60 is wearing level 49 gear, they won't really be that much better than the lower level party members, meaning they are just making the dungeon harder for the group. In this beta, there's no point to really hold your level back, but get used to this feature as there will be a reason in the upcoming betas. Also remember that closed beta data will carry over to the next beta. So as the level cap and amount of content increases, you'll be ready to continue your quest line and character progression during the upcoming betas. And that pretty much wraps up the closed beta 1 experience. Once again, I'm Cryy, and I hope you guys found this helpful. Until the next video. See you soon, friends.